Hi guys, how are you today? Jean here. Welcome. And so today we are talking about cultivating a freedom mindset. And why cultivating a freedom mindset? Well, you know what? There is so many things that we do want in life, and it actually stems from that mindset that we have. So I am the host of this Facebook group, and my Facebook group is called Freedom and Money. And the reason why I call it Freedom and Money, hi Hillary, how are you? Welcome, my love. The reason I call it Freedom and Money is because, well, I represent freedom. I have a friend, and every time she talks to me, she's like, Jean, freedom is your thing, right? So I'm going to tell you a little bit about how I come to understand why freedom is so much of my thing, right? So my question to you today is, what type of freedom are you seeking? Right? What type of freedom are you seeking? Do you want financial freedom? Do you want social freedom? Do you want travel freedom, physical freedom, spiritual freedom, or emotional freedom? So I encourage you to put in the group to actually put in the comment what type of freedom you're seeking, right? It's good to know what freedom we are seeking. Share whatever freedom that you're seeking. So whether it's financial or physical, write it in the group so we can see. Okay, so let us know. Now, I knew exactly the time that I felt that I needed freedom. So here's a little bit about how I come about to really start embracing freedom in my life and understanding that that's the thing I want the most. And I remember I live in Banff, Alberta. I live in this beautiful, amazing mountain town, and in this town, I live in Banff National Park, right? So I live in Canada, leading national park. Oh, you like to have financial and emotional freedom? That's good. We're going to talk a little bit about that, Hillary. That is a big one. That is one that we all want. Emotional freedom is like key to the gateway of living, which would bring you financial freedom and all these beautiful things. So I live in this beautiful town, and it's Banff. It's Canada National Leading Pack. And when you come to this town, the first thing everybody say to you is that, "How lucky are you to live in such a town? How lucky are you to live in this place? How did you manage to live in a place like this?" Right? And everyone thinks that everyone that lives in this town have a lot of money. You have to be rich, and you have to be really, like bathing in richness to live in a town like this. And I'm not kidding. You can search Banff, Alberta, Canada, and you would see what come up. It's the most beautiful place in Canada. One of them, anyway, because Canada is beautiful no matter how you look at it. So my story is, here I am. Years ago, I have a beautiful home that I own in this beautiful town. Beautiful home, and I have what you call the $1 million view. I'm not even kidding. Beautiful mountain view. I'm all actually getting emotional about that. I had a brand new car that was fully paid for. I drive a beautiful red Suzuki Swift car. I had, and I'm telling you this, honestly, not to be, I'm just going to tell you the story. I had a business, beautiful house cleaning business with 8 employees. Really successful business with 8 employees. I had a fleet of vehicle, all of that. A husband, I had a little dog named Daisy, and all of these beautiful things. But guess what? I wasn't happy. uh, Nothing about me was happy, you know. I didn't understand it. I had what society told me I need to have the life that I wanted, but I wasn't happy. Nothing about me was happy. I was miserable. I was exhausted. I wanted something different in my life. I wanted freedom. Actually, that is when it started happening, and that was around 2010, 2009, around that time. So it's a few years now, right? It's more than almost 8 years, yes, 7, 8 years, right? And I wanted all of that. I had all of that, but I wasn't happy. I didn't understand it. So I started to have this thing where I wanted to have freedom in my life because all that stuff didn't bring me the freedom that I wanted. You know, I felt more trapped than I have ever felt in my whole life. And I wanted to understand what freedom was all about. And I mean, around that time, I was a jogger. I would go out and run. So I knew that running and doing different things, has some freedom in there. So what I started doing, and here are the steps. So this is about 3 steps that 3 steps or 3 tips to help you cultivate freedom in your life, right? So I had to actually take stock of where I was, and I needed to understand what it was like, what it is like to incorporate and find that freedom. And that's when I actually come against Danielle Laporte. I found Danielle Laporte, and she was actually, and she still is, this big icon that talk a lot about your co-desire and your co-desire feelings, right? And that's when I started to understand that I needed to start feeling a certain way. And feeling a certain way has to do with my vibration. Feeling is actually our vibration. And that is something that we can talk a lot about. Your feelings and your vibration is one and the same thing. And if you're feeling negativity and you're feeling stress and you're feeling all these kind of feeling, then it's not a match to the vibration that you want in your life. And back then I didn't understand that at all. I just thought if I was angry, I had a right to be angry. And I didn't understand the whole pull of the negative and positive thing, because I believe that when people tell you, oh, well, you just have to be positive, you just have to be positive. Yeah, we can all go into that place of being positive, but if we are not dealing with the other stuff, that positive stuff is bullshit. Basically, it is, right? So I kind of got introduced to Danielle Laporte and this idea of my co-desire feeling, and starting to walk with this thing about how do I want to feel? How do I really want to feel? Yes, that is the thing. We all struggling to be a match of what we want because our vibration is not matching up with the thing that we want. And that topic is a huge and broad and wide topic. And so today I'm just giving you a little bit of that, right? So to come back into how do I want to feel with Danielle Laporte, I start walking with that main thing. So the first thing I came to understand, so step one for this is that you do need to find out, you do need to realize that freedom is an inside job. Manifesting is an inside job. It all starts with our mind. It all starts with we being the manager of our mind. And this is when I understood all this outer stuff that I have wasn't bringing me joy or wasn't bringing me fulfillment. And if you knew me or see me at the time, you would believe that I had all of that. But I didn't, because my inside wasn't really matching up at all. My inside was quite miserable. So I came to understand that number one, freedom, as with anything in life, whether you want financial freedom, if you want emotional freedom, physical freedom, social freedom, or emotional freedom, spiritual freedom, all of those, every single one of them start here in the mind. If you want spiritual freedom, you have to meditate. You have to start meditating. You have to start praying. You have to, line up vibrationally. It all starts here. You're not going to find that outside of yourself. These are stuff you have to dig deep and find inside of yourself. When it comes to financial freedom, same thing with financial freedom. It comes from here. You have to start thinking that instead of saying things like, well, again, the word here, struggling, I'm struggling, I'm struggling to make money, I'm struggling to do this. If that's what is in your vibration, struggle, then that's what you're going to get, right? So you're struggling, that is what's going to come to you. You meditate every single day, which is good. So that means that you're bringing in that spiritual vibration that you want. that spiritual freedom. It's going to come easier and easier for you. So, one, understand that freedom is an inside job. Number two, let's all find ourselves a symbol for freedom. What is your symbol for freedom? What is the thing that what is the thing that is freedom for you? For me, freedom is the ocean. It's the Caribbean beach. When I step onto a beach, I immediately feel freedom. I bring this into my system. So find something that symbolizes freedom and go to that thing a lot. Because I'm not in the Caribbean and water, the ocean, all of that symbolize that for me. I go to the river and there is water, there is the movement of water, and that helps me a lot. Number three, you must know what life you want to live. That again, it's broad. You have to sit down and come up with that. What life do you want to live? You got to get clear on that. You got to get so clear on the life that you want to live, and you got to bring it into your vibration first mentally. So you got to get your mindset right. I cannot say that enough every single day. This is what has worked for me. When I start walking in the space that I can actually be positive and happy and joyful all the time, that is what brought me the freedom that I seek in this life, right? So remember that. Remember that that is what you want, and that is what you want to have in your lifetime. So let's quickly go over it. One, you need to know that freedom is an inside job. You need to start matching your feelings on the inside with what you want with on the outside. Right? So get with your core desire feelings. Ask yourself this question: how do I want to feel every day? Two, you want to create a symbol, something that represents freedom for you. And that is all about manifesting. It's all about mindset and manifesting the things that you want and creating the life that you want. And three, you need to know what type of life you want. You got to get clear on that, right? You just have to. So, for this month, May, coming up May, I have only 2 spots open for my one-on-one coaching. So I have 2 spots open for my one-on-one coaching for May month. If you're interested in having a little bit more coaching session on your mindset, especially the mindset where you can cultivate the life that you want and cultivate and manifest what you want in your life, and to start having freedom, that inner freedom that actually would break through to give you all that outer freedom that you seek, give me a call, give me a holler, send me a private message and let me know that you want that coaching session. So now it is only 2. I only have 2 spots for my coaching session. It is one-on-one coaching. I'm going to be doing 3 calls for the month of May. So you get 3 calls with that one-on-one coaching, and it's 197 Canadian dollars. So 197 Canadian dollars, I don't know how it works out in US, but it's probably around 150 US dollars, which is amazing. So 3 phone calls, however we decide to do the calling, and it's one-on-one, and we're going to talk about what is holding you back, what is keeping you where you are, what is not moving you forward in life. And if you talk about struggling and you talk about the kind of freedom that you want, I know that I can help you get to that space. Okay, guys? So there it is in a nutshell. Think about this. Remember that freedom, inside job. Okay, so I think I'm going to be seeing you guys again here next week. I'm going to come on every week, once a week. I'm going to probably start coming on a Monday instead of Friday, but I'm going to be on talking about different things like overcoming your money block and negativity, talking about manifesting the things that you want, talking about your 9-to-5 job that you want to leave. Let's chat. Put it in the system, put it underneath, put it in the comment, and let's have a talk. So it's so nice to have you here. So nice that you joined me, Hillary. And everyone who is watching the replay, God, I love you guys, and I'm sending you pure joy, right? Let's be free. Talk to you soon.